You're tuned in to Classic Business, brought to you by Proudly SA, and I've got Gil Oved and Neu-Ner, founders and owners of the Creative Council, on the line. They were named as the overall winners of South Africa's premier annual entrepreneurial competition, the Sanlam Business Partners Entrepreneur of the Year. And I've also got one of the judges, Kobus Engelbrecht, who's marketing head of the Sanlam Business Awards. So, Gil, it's been a while since we last spoke. Congratulations on scooping the award.
Thank you so much. We're honored and we're humbled.
Now, Gil, you founded the Creative Council with your childhood friend back in 2001. The story has become something of folklore around Joburg, at least. You're a brand activation business, so into that kind of non-traditional sort of marketing space. As someone who looks at brands from that perspective, what do you make of the way small businesses approach their corporate branding in particular?
I actually think that technology is the great equalizer. We've got a situation now where you could spend a few $1,000s, and if you've got guts and clever ideas using social media and other very inexpensive mediums, you could get your name out there and you can really compete with the big boys. It's not good enough just to have a lot of money and throw it at media. So never before have there been more opportunities for small businesses to actually grow their brands like now.
Was this part of the decision that you decided to enter the competition to do a bit of brand building, so to speak, for the Creative Council, which already has a phenomenal brand?
So absolutely not. I think the recognition is great, but it's not about the recognition. I think it's we were nominated by someone else. We didn't nominate ourselves. It's always great to get the recognition, but it's not about the recognition. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it, and I think that people often see the successes at the top of the mountain, but they don't see the climb that goes into it. And regarding building of our personal brand, up until about 2 or 3 years ago, we didn't do anything for our personal brand or for the TCC brand. We had a policy of no talking to the press. And 3 years ago, we embarked on this journey of getting our brand out there. And I think hats off to Gil. Gil's been our brand builder. Hats off to him. I think he's done a fantastic job of putting us on the map.
And everyone, I think, will recognize Gil as one of the dragons from the local episode of or series of Dragon's Den. I was actually chatting, Gil, to one of your colleagues, Lucy Tembekwaya, on the show the other day, talking about the fact that funding isn't a problem. It's more attitude than anything else. But I still get this sense, and I said this to Lucy, that the VC angel funding space is still very old school type, still quite cliquey in South Africa.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is actually kind of primitive, and I think a perfect example is one of the other dragons, actually, Tony Lingham, who's based in the ultimate VC space in Silicon Valley. And he talks about the businesses that he sees there who can raise millions of dollars of capital pre-rev on a concept. And I think here, capital is hard to come by, especially seed funding. And if you've only got an idea, you said you won't get any money just for that. But to Wussy's point, I do think that it's beyond the capital. Capital is not the only issue that prevents entrepreneurs from succeeding and small businesses from succeeding. I think they lack access, mentorship, guidance, support, infrastructure. If you look at many other countries that have successful entrepreneurs, like Canada, the States, Israel, they've got incubation funds, they've got a lot of incubators, and government and private enterprise work together to do that. I think we need a lot more of that in South Africa. We need private enterprise to get more involved in building entrepreneurs.
It is an ecosystem approach, and we see some great work being done in the enterprise and supply development space. That's really picking up momentum. Kobus, what did you, as a judge for the competition, really love about the Creative Council? What set them apart?
Well, I've been listening to the two guys now, and you can hear their energy. So that was one of the things that really excited us as judges. And then just their whole story, two school friends coming together, starting a business from nothing, the typical rags to riches story. Now, I must say that many of the other businesses, in fact, I think all of them, is the same kind of story. But these two guys, they like I heard somebody once said, it took me 20 years to be an overnight success. Well, that's exactly what they've done, and they are now it's time for them to be recognized now. They've got a really fantastic business. They are fantastic businessmen. They're energetic, passionful, and this is just, they came out tops. And I'm telling you, it's hard to choose a winner because we had a very good crop of businesses this year. And not only this year, but the quality of the businesses that enter this competition just grows every year.
There is one thing that I'm hopeful about, in that whenever we see competitions like this, I was recently at the L Boss Entrepreneur of the Year Awards where Stacey Brewer picked up the prize for Spark Schools. There is some phenomenal entrepreneurial talent in this country, and I think we need to certainly raise it up, focus on those people who are succeeding despite all of the headwinds, be they government-created or global economic conditions. They're just going ahead and getting it done. Run, before I let you go, what's your advice for aspiring entrepreneurs? I read an article somewhere where walking around your new campus there off the M1 near Melrose Arch, one would be forgiven for allowing you a bit of space and room to reflect and be rather proud of what you've achieved, but you wanted to achieve more. I mean, that's a wonderful attitude.
So my advice to entrepreneurs is exactly what you just mentioned, and despite the winds that may be coming against you, and despite everything that's going against you, an entrepreneur can't use the word challenge. They need to rather use the word opportunity. And it's very easy to get involved and caught up in all the negativity that's going on, but I really believe that every negative comment is actually an opportunity. And I reach for the stars in my personal capacity. For me, it's not about money, but for me, making a difference and making the world a better place and just making a difference in building, I keep reaching for the stars, and I'm never happy. It's just my personality, I guess.
Run Neu-Ner, Gil Ovid, the owners of the Creative Council and overall winners of South Africa's premier annual entrepreneurial competition, the Sanlam Business Partners Entrepreneur of the Year Award, sharing some of their inspirational story and passion with us, and Kobus Engelbrecht, the marketing head of Sanlam Business Partners as well, sharing a quite exceptional story here on Classic Business, brought to you by